Tired of bolted-on security with endless patches? Wish your software and systems operated with built-in security? At the Center for Internet Security, we get it. That's why we partnered with SafeCode to develop a secure-by-design guide that offers actionable guidance to help organizations integrate security throughout development. It's a clear roadmap for turning intent into execution, strengthening resilience while lowering complexity and cost. Operationalize Secure by Design in your organization. Visit CISecurity.org.
Welcome to episode 425 of In Touch with iOS, the podcast that keeps you connected to the ever-changing Apple ecosystem. I am your host, Dave Ginsburg. Each week we break down the latest news, updates, tips, and hidden features across iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Mac, Vision Pro, and Apple TV, with insights from our friends, experts, and the Apple community. Because here we read the release notes, so you don't have to. So we got another great panel this week. Great to see everybody. Glad you are here. Let's start off with Marty Jencius. How you doing, Marty?
I'm good. It's Thursday night. My work week kind of ends Thursday afternoon, so got some things I'm going to do tomorrow, work-related, but the pressure's off. I'm looking forward to the weekend.
That is good. That is very good. Also here is Jill McKinley. How you doing, Jill?
I'm doing great. I'm trying to think why I'm doing great. Probably because I got a lot of rest last week and I feel great.
Yeah.
There you go.
That rest is important. You know, I don't get enough of it sometimes too. So, also that one that got us thrown off here at the beginning of the show, but that's okay. Guy Serle, how you doing, Guy?
I'm doing okay. I failed a sleep study test. I was talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
You should have studied for it.
I know. I forgot how to sleep. I apologize.
Yeah, well, they probably just should have ended it and said, "Okay, we know what your problem is.
They wanted to
put this machine on."
They wanted to end me.
Oh, speaking of another person here, Eric Bolden. How you doing, Eric?
Doing well. Different irises today, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got different ones back behind you there.
Well, I can't
today.
see your eyes at all.
Pretty.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's too dark. You need to open those irises.
Get.
And also here is Jeff Gamet. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing well. I have to say, I didn't see that Iris joke coming.
No, not at all. We just came fresh off of recording. Thank you for having me on the Retro Rewatch.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. We did the show Chuck. Can't wait to everybody to hear it and see it. It's going to be a lot of fun to check it out. So that was a lot of fun. Appreciate you having me. But let's go on and take a look at what's going on out here in the world of Apple. We got to start with, of course, In Touch with Vision Pro. The betas are now out. They came out not too far off after the release. I think it was like maybe a week. No, 2 weeks, I think it was.
Yeah.
26.6 beta 1 is out. And there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the show notes say there's nothing to talk about. I mean, the notes for the developer notes say there's absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
We're not sharing anything on these.
You know, they probably just wanted to keep all the numbers the same for all the devices. So at some point, some of these devices are going to be like, oh, thank God they came out with 26.6. But now it's like the Vision Pro is like, no, we got nothing. I'm sorry.
I was wondering if they were just kind of chilling out on that because they've got WWDC coming up in a couple of weeks, and maybe they just don't want to throw a lot of information out about it now and save it for the show.
I'm wondering, and it's along generally the same lines that or thought process that you just had, Marty. Wow, using words is hard. Wow. Anyhow, what if the reason they didn't say anything about what's in the release because they've thrown in some code that they want to have in place for when they announce something else that's coming. So it'll already be there. Hence, we're not talking about it. So now someone will have to go through and like try to decompile stuff and see what they can find.
Yeah, and none of that will be done by us.
No.
A few other things here with Vision Pro. The native Steam Link app for Vision Pro is now available overall. It is working pretty great. It was tested a couple different ways. The same network as a gaming PC. They had good luck with it. Same network as a gaming PC mouse keyboard connected to the Vision Pro, and a different network of the gaming PC mouse keyboard connected to Vision Pro a third time. And the consensus is it seems to be working. I'm not a gamer, nor is I think anybody here on this panel, but interesting, and at least to say the least, to see where this goes. Marty, Rick, you got any comments?
Yeah, I watched the 15-minute video and it was an impressive video, and the guy talked a lot about the comparisons and trying to evaluate the speeds, and moved into that zone that I can really enjoy, which is the I don't care zone. He went into details on it. It's beyond my capacity to care that much about gaming, but I think if it gets out to gamers, they'll go, "Oh yeah, we get it." So that's what's important. It's not that it's meaningful to me, or I'm going to buy a really high-end PC to be able to run my games that I don't have in order to run it through my Vision Pro, but it'll be important to people.
Can
Just
you
not me.
you play PC games on it?
Steam games, yeah.
But
Yeah,
do
Steam
they
games,
have
yeah.
to be Mac compatible, or is it?
No. It streams from the device itself. So if you're playing it from your Mac, it has to be Mac compatible. And if you're streaming it from your Windows machine, it has to be Windows compatible.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
yeah.
it's relying on the Vision OS to run it natively.
Yeah, whatever is linked, whichever machine you're linking to it at that moment. And I'm pretty excited about it because I'm a Steam Deck. I'm a Steam player from Valve.
Yeah, I'd like to try
Okay.
Left 4 Dead 2 on that.
Couple comments from Witherbucket in our chat here at youtube.com/intouchwithios. Thanks for being here. He says maybe with the price increases by Valve, the Vision Pro will look more competitive on price. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, that's not good.
We can live in hope.
We can live in hope.
No.
And then he also said, compared to that, the upcoming Steam Frame VR headset, still no price there, or for the Steam machine. So,
which
yeah, I mean, I know people in my world that are going to be really excited about it. It's just because they're really excited about gaming, but they're already doing their gaming on other platforms. And, this is a $3,500 price tag to be able to do it here. And so you've got this weird, very rare Venn diagram of people who are gamers and people who have a Vision Pro headset.
And money.
Well, in my realm of things is maybe I'm going to buy a Steam headset, and maybe I decide to get the Vision Pro because I could do both things with it, instead of just getting locked into a gaming machine. So I find it appealing.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Oh, so and this was good news too. So there's a couple of different options to stream games to the Vision Pro now. This one, though, it's got a bunch of the drivers already built in. There's not quite so much futzing of little details trying to make it work. It's more of an out-of-the-box experience. But people have options, which is good.
Yep. I thought I'd dab a little bit into the little rumor world here. It's sometimes fun to talk about that. This was interesting. More all-black Apple Vision Pro parts have surfaced online. There's images of unreleased all-black Vision Pro headset has been leaked online. This is courtesy of an X account, Lucy Roy 8. The image shows what appears to be a power strap and audio pod parts looking identical to existing Apple Vision Pro hardware, except a dark finish that's not commercially available. The account then shares images, claims that parts are up for an upcoming second generation Vision Pro in black. It's not the first time we've seen this, and these for the Apple's headset and similar parts. But just found this to be a little fascinating. Gurman, of course, resisted the reports that they're walking away from the headset entirely, and that whole craziness. And we didn't need to talk about that again. But this is definitely a focus on the project with the glasses, especially what we saw with the new content and lots of other stuff. You guys think they're going to offer something like this with different colors? I mean, it was pulling teeth enough to get the new headband, so you had the top strap on your back. But I just don't see this other than being a new device with this color. What do you think, Marty?
I think there's a simple solution to this problem. There is a planet Earth on the other side of the sun that we can't see. And it revolves at the same rate that we do. And on that planet, they have Vision Pros with black parts. And somehow those are leaking through to our side of the world.
That's the journey to the far side of the sun.
It's the Star Trek parallel universe.
It's actually Jerry Anderson.
Yeah, this is just the Project Zorro headset components, and I figured they still need to test it for a couple of years. So yeah, they're making the parts. They were going to try and rush them out the door. They've gotten sidetracked.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Recording in progress.
So yeah, let's move on. Not much else we can say about that. Lastly, with the Vision Pro and PlayStation 5 are the perfect combo with remote play apps. Apps like the Portal and the Escobi let you stream PS5 games to the Vision Pro in stereoscopic 3D with 4K upscaling. So it is an excellent gaming platform, at least when you can find games to run on it. But if you'd like to prefer a selection of VR games, the ability to use the PlayStation Remote Play is a decent middle ground. Excuse me. I'll say that playing the PlayStation 5 is the best in home entertainment system and good audio and video. But however, apps like Portal and Asobi make the Vision Pro a close second option. There's a premium subscription. It's pricey, but both totally worth it in functionality. The Portal app will let you stream the PS5 in 1080p, 60 frames a second for free. But if you want bonus features, you have to pay $5.99 a month, $5.99 a year, or you could pay $200 a lifetime. Got to be a really hardcore gamer in here if you want to be doing this. But that looks kind of cool to see where this might go. What do you think, Eric?
I really would like to see some comments on whether or not you get sick playing Minecraft in this. Because of all the movement. But this is good, and I think it'll continue to improve. I feel that my headset is going to get borrowed again.
Yes.
Resist.
I have to tell you that I played, I did through the link, play Minecraft in my Oculus once, and I nearly threw up faster than anything in Oculus ever almost made me throw up in.
Huh. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a purpose.
Yeah.
So
It's
if
a
your
visual epicac.
Yeah. If your dog eats chocolate, make them play Minecraft with Oculus. Problem solved.
And then
Right.
there you go. There you go. So that's it with Vision Pro this week. Let's move on to beta. iOS 26.6 beta 1 was released this week. It's only 2 weeks before iOS 26.5 and iPadOS. It's you can download it. The public beta is out as well. With the debut of iOS 27 really approaching very close here. We're only about 10 days left until WWDC going here, so not seeing much, and we're all getting incredibly excited about it, but not seeing much in the way of updates in this in here with even iOS, because I mean this time of year you probably tend to just expect just bug updates, things like that. So wouldn't expect anything there. Same thing with watchOS, tvOS, and there's not much there as well. Likely, again, bug fixes and just getting us ready for dub. So when it comes to that, so Apple has now done a good job here with adding the CVE details to several updates with macOS, iOS, iPadOS, visionOS, and watchOS. Because you tend to don't see a lot of the CVE, meaning this is the security updates and don't giving the details of what's been happening. So they've been introducing more features and such, but a couple of things that did stand out in here in the security updates in iOS 26 in general. iPad had private browsing tabs may have been accessed without authentication. Calendars would and they did they're acknowledging the people who have found these this malicious stuff that's out there too. So there's a whole list here with what's going on, the core services, FaceTime, and all the older operating systems that they had updated, back to Sonoma and all those other ones on Mac, and then of course the previous iOS 18 and iOS 17 and such as well. So it's good to see that they are acknowledging and allowing these things out here. So in iOS 25, they did give the the Messages app encrypted RCS, and there's a way to check this to see if it's working. This is one of the big major features that was released a couple weeks ago when 26.5 came out as the public version here. So the way you check this is it is considered being in beta still. So if you go to apps, messages, RCS messaging, and ensure end-to-end encryption is toggled on, and it does show how you check it. Well, a message at the top does tell you that it's encrypted. So if you look under their name, and if you have it stored in your contacts, or if it's just a simple number, it will tell you right under there that it's encrypted. So that's good that they've got this in place. I'm assuming everybody's seen that in messages that I think that's a very good thing that they're doing. So, and also back in iOS 26, it will alert you when you have maxed out on blocked contents. Boy, has anybody gotten to that point where they've that many blocked contacts? That's got to be a lot.
Who are you and who hurt you? I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
What was that?
I may be seeing that alert very soon. Yeah. Okay. So I appreciate the jokes about how can you have that many blocked contacts, but when your phone number gets attached to someone in another state, and that state starts sending out all of their political text messages. All right, I don't need to talk around the bush. Alan, thank you for using my phone number in Georgia for your Republican Party text messages for political stuff. Like multiple times a week, regularly. But when we get into an election cycle, I can have 15, 20, even more messages, text messages in a day. And the only way to deal with those really is to block that number so that I don't get more from that one number.
Yeah, but it's just that number, unfortunately. If I get a political message, I don't care who it's from. It's like, no, leave me the hell alone. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to have to do with whatever you're about. I don't care what party you're from. Just leave me alone. And all the begging for money. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think they got this wrong. It shouldn't be numbers that we want to block. It should be numbers that send out spam.
Yes.
That they are limited to a certain amount of spam, and then they're blocked. So they've got the pathway wrong here.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. And then lastly, a firmware upgrade was released for the AirTags. So they released a new firmware for the second generation AirTag trackers. Firmware has a number of 3.0.49. It's up from .45. This is the second firmware update that Apple's provided to the AirTag. Of course, they never tell you what they do with it and why it happens. And they should be providing it when it updates its firmware support page. Let's see if it updated yet. See, you go to the firmware support page, they haven't even updated yet. It still says 45. So apparently it's out, but they aren't telling you what's up with it. So the way it updates is you just leave it out there in the air and it just updates. You don't have to think about it. Just like the AirPods do. You get them hooked to your phone and it'll eventually update. You can't force it. So, all right, let's move on to In Touch with Mac this week. Of course, they did release beta for that as well. Jeff's favorite operating system, 26.6 beta 1, Big Lake, is out. And it's just 2 weeks after 26.5. Again, we're going to be waiting for macOS 27, less than a month. So it's going to be like I said, 10 days. Not much to talk about there either. So this is a quiet beta season. Hey, Ben's in the chat here. How you doing, Ben? He just said this beta will not make you vomit. Oh, Ben, you're funny. Thanks for being here, Ben. So that is interesting. See where else that's going to be when it comes to that. And then this was interesting. I saw with Mac, the Apple's M5 MacBook Air has now hit a low price of $899.99. That's $200 off of its $1099 base price. And it was available on Amazon. I also helped somebody last week, and it was also available at Costco. And this is much cheaper than it's ever been. So this is a good price. If as you're listening to us, hopefully it's still available. I believe it is.
Yeah.
I just
took a look
here.
And
Yeah.
it's
Amazon's
still available. And that's
$899. Yeah.
That's the
16 gig
MacBook Air, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 SSD.
You can't beat that. So you're only off like by $200 on the Neo. But we still can't beat the Neo. And shout out to Patrice. We could tell everybody she got a MacBook Neo. We got to see it today during recording of Retro Rewatts. So she's now joined our crew here that has MacBook Neo. So
what color?
We got to do a later episode. That's pink. Of course she went with pink. That's right. So anyway, but that's interesting to see that that is out. This was kind of cool. I found this. I don't know if anybody saw this, but this was talked about a few days ago here. It's the Virtual OS Museum. It's a fantastic project that lets you run macOS, AUX, Next Step, and then many more. There's over 1,700 installations. If you ever wanted to see what how to use many operating systems over the past 40 so years, this Virtual OS Museum's got you covered. And it's 1,700 installations representing over 250 platforms and 600 distinct OSs. And it basically full and light versions are available. The full versions ship with everything downloaded as it runs offline. The light version downloads disks, tapes, etc., images with VMs the first time it runs. And it says it's a result of over 20 years of collecting, which has begun emulators since 2003. Only a few archives of software is good enough to be there. What you could expect to find is you can go back to, I think, OS 7, Mac OS 7, is it? And Atari 8-bit, you can go in and enjoy that trash 80. I mean TRS 80. And Palm, is that Palm? You want to go explore that? I downloaded it. It's a huge download. It's like something like 125 gigabytes.
Can't be
to download it.
That's why
it's huge. Try to just get it to open. Especially you got to make sure you have enough storage too. But it is limited. Some of the hosts are limited to x86 only. But so if you're running it on ARM, performances would be rather limited. Meaning performance on Silicon Macs may not be best. Still, it's an interesting project. Check it out.
Yeah.
It's on their website, and then also you are able to download it from the Internet Internet Archive. They let you download it, or it's in BitTorrent. I got it quicker on the Internet Archive than I did on BitTorrent. So,
yeah, so you too can run 7.6.1 and find out just how quickly your computer will crash with limited memory.
Yeah. So if you go to the website, it's got the real old 8-bit graphics on it and talking about stuff, and it's kind of cool. So check it out. Something it might interest you to play with. Thought it was interesting. And I want to talk about this a little bit. OWC has this new Stack AI speed booster. OWC, we know OWC, Other World Computing. We love them. They got great products, Apple products that they offer for drives and all kinds of great stuff. I think all of us probably will spend way too much money with them, but it's a pleasure doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So making the local processing of large LLMs is easier, somehow inflating your Mac GPU memory across Thunderbolt. So they had some questions here. The majority of the AI industry consists, of course, the big AI players like OpenAI, Perplexity, Anthropic, and others. However, they can become expensive, especially for people with mass workloads and enterprise clients. One way to trim the bills is bring them locally, so people can do that. So what they do is they buy Mac Minis. We wonder why the Mac Minis have been very hard to come by, because a lot of them are buying it. So what this OWC Stack AI does is it's a Thunderbolt 5 AI accelerator and storage hub. They're pretty much like a old style Mac Mini. It's a non-descriptive aluminum box, so you can stack a Mac Studio on top of it, similar to some of the other docks and hubs. You connect this Mac to your Thunderbolt 5. It does provide some storage capacity, but the real benefit is to be able to extend the working GPU. In effect, it uses onboard high-speed flash to expand the onboard VRAM of the PC's graphics card. Eventually, Apple Silicon too. So with more memory to use, OWC says that the host computer can now handle large language models far greater size than the graphics cards could do alone here. So this is interesting. I like to see. I love to see this, because OWC just does have amazing products, and Larry O'Connor. We know him, and then they've got some updates about this, and he's basically. He says we're not pretending the Thunderbolt 5 suddenly turns flash into native GPU RAM, because physics still matters and nothing replaces memory sitting directly on the GPU. What the OWC Stack AI does is solve the much bigger real problem, which is the most existing systems simply hit a wall and cannot run larger AI models locally until they exhaust onboard memory resources. So very interesting stuff here. Just something, anybody have any comments on this?
I want to know more about how it really works, which
me too.
They're not saying yet.
This is very new. I don't even see a link to OWC is talking about this. Wait, no, here it is. And it says coming soon. So we're not going to see this till Q4. So it's still very, very new. If you go to the OWC's website, the link is in the show notes here. There's very little information here on this page right now, other than showing you what it looks like. So we need more information, and I can just imagine how much this is going to cost too.
And no Mac support at launch.
Right. Is that what it says?
Yeah. Windows and Linux at first, with Mac support expected at some point in the future.
Okay. So, So is this the wave of the future? We'll find out, because we can't say much else about it until we find out more. So stay tuned, right? This is also one other thing that was interesting to me this week, because I've been crazy obsessed with docking stations lately. This was
really
2 new. I think Jeff knows this, because he's seen my other house, but I have a few. Kensington launched a Thunderbolt 5 docking station that supports up to 3 4K monitors. And Pluggable also did introduce one. This is for professionals who want to add high resolution monitors, as well as a range of other high speed ports. 2 of them have some distinct advantages, and they can get double speeds with the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt 5. And also with the Kensington, it's got a triple 4K docking station, so it's got many other ports. The Pluggable one looks interesting too. I like Pluggable. They make some great products as well. So check it out. Pricing is $300. It's not too bad. $279 on the Pluggable. So I thought these were kind of cool docks, and it's a stand-up dock, the Pluggable. It's got quite a few ports, including it does DisplayPort too. So it's kind of cool. Anybody want comments on that?
I hope that people review it, because I have bought very terrible docks before, and I'm sorry.
Me too.
So Kensington's long-term Windows dock maker, and I just wonder how high end they go, with it. This is, I guess, my thought is, how good does it work?
Yeah. I've got their latest Thunderbolt the more lower priced one is the I think it's the SDT 5000 T. I think it is. The dock's been good. And I just have to get used to having higher end ports because if you got slower speed devices and if it's going Thunderbolt 3, even though they say it's compatible, sometimes it's not. Yeah. It's not as
I got bougie with my docks
as it goes.
So
yeah. So check that out. All right, let's go ahead and move on to some of the topics this week. Apple did update the trading values of all of their devices. There's some more trading estimates. The iPhone 16 Pro Max is now up between $685 and $695, all the way down to the 16. You can get about $460 on the 16, and then the iPad Pro is it goes $690. Air is $460. And so on. iPad Mini, $235, $265, which actually, if you think about it, it's not a bad price. And then you got prices with the MacBook Pro, MacBook Air. The Mini is down to like $375, $340. Still not so bad. But then $355 for the iMac. What bothers me is the Apple Watch. It's ridiculous what they don't give the price. We pay a good amount of money for these watches. Mm-hmm. And, Series 9, $130, Series 10, $150. But the Ultra, they give, $305 for the 2 and $205 for the version 1. So, but even Apple, I didn't even realize this. They do some Android trade-ins too. Like the Pixel 8 Pro, that's what, 2 models out? Yeah, only $165 for Android. What a surprise.
Well, I mean, it is an Android phone.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could probably pick up a OnePlus 12 for less than what they'll give you for it.
Probably. Anybody have any other thoughts on this?
Well, what's funny is I have a friend who's an adventurer and I gave her my Ultra One watch and she's like, no, trade it in. I'm like, I'm telling you, I might as well just throw it in the garbage. Just take it. Please take it and use it because you will, they won't give you much for it.
But I'll tell you just on a side note about the Apple Watch. I unfortunately shattered my screen, so I had to get it replaced. So it was pretty simple. It was cracked at the top here, but it's nice to have a shiny new watch now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was a pretty simple process. Mm-hmm. I was going to go into the store. I'm like, why am I doing that? If they're going to just ship it to me, why not just do it? I'll pay extra and just have it shipped to my house. So very easy process. Just got to remember to stick with it when you're setting it up, because then when it times out and then you can't get back to it, you have to remember, you got to do a hard reset to the whole thing again and start all over again. So I ran into that problem. So, but it's set up nice and the backup worked perfectly. It synced. And so I'm back running. I was going crazy 2 weeks without a watch. That's how long I was before I got it. So, cause I'm so used to looking at my watch. What time is it? Instead of flipping up my phone here. So let's talk a little bit about a document that Apple did publish to help users tell Creative Studio apps apart. It is a support document that helps users distinguish the Apple Creator Studio versions of its professional creative apps from the standalone editions sold as a one-time purchase. The confusion stems from Apple's decision to ship 2 parallel variants of Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, MainStage, Motion Compressor, and Pixelmator Pro, which one available through the Apple Creative Studio subscription and one sold separately. Yeah, well, what do you expect? How confusing is that? Both editions share the name and can be installed on the same Mac at the same time, leaving little to tell them apart at a first glance. But Apple's solution to this is to give the Creator Studio versions on the apps redesigned icons. Oh, okay, thanks. With liquid glass. Oh, that makes it even more exciting, right? And then, of course, the document shows the side-by-side icon comparisons from each of the 6 apps, so users can easily identify what they're running and troubleshooting from the dock or from the applications folder. Apple does not typically publish a dedicated reference document to telling the two apart, so the move just seems to say that the dual version setup has produced enough real-world confusion to warrant this. So January is when the Creative Studio launched. I'm paying for it. It's $129 a year. I mean, it's fair. I've been using the Final Cut a lot more now. I had the license for the original of Final Cut, so I've been using it. So, Eric, what do you think on this?
I just wish the new icons look different.
I'm looking at them now here.
A little bit. They're a little different.
I mean, I used to be able to tell the components apart, Final Cut from Logic, from Motion, and it was easy. Now, to me, they all kind of mush together in something that's way, way, way too similar. So yes,
I'm showing
it's good that they publish this comparison document, but I use it more just to figure out which app I'm looking at than I do between the old and the new. And I mean, if you've got an iPad, it's definitely worth getting the new suite because you got to pay for it for the iPad anyway, so you might as well get it for everything.
Yeah, I'm showing it on the stream here, showing what these icons look, and look at them. I mean, Jeff, if anybody, you have thoughts on design of icons, right?
I do, and Apple has completely lost the plot. And it's not just for their Creative Studio apps. They've been getting a little less usable over time, but when they did all of their icon and interface redesign things for OS 26, man, they have completely forgotten one of the core elements of a good icon, which is you can look at it and it gives you a representation of what it is. And we really don't have that anymore. And the fact that Apple has to have a KB article telling you what the icons are for and which version does which thing, this is not a helpful document. This is a public statement of embarrassment for Apple, and they don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that.
Did you mention pages, numbers, and Keynote as well?
I didn't mention them specifically, but they're definitely rolled into the mix.
Yeah, they have different icons as well.
They do. Yep, but they chose not to put that on the support article.
Yeah, which is
if I noticed it, because it's not. It is part of the Creative Studio. Honestly, it doesn't make any sense.
Can I be the contrarian here? Because I mean,
please.
Jeff is yelling for kids to get off his lawn.
Only the kids with poorly designed icons. The rest, I've got a milkshake for you. Let's go.
Yeah, and who makes the decision of what poorly designed icons are? I have dealt with this, the way I've dealt with this, because I want to be focused on having the apps, instead of having them strung all through my dock, I put them in a folder. And they sit at the end of my dock, and I click on that folder. They fly up, and I can pick the one that I want. And I really haven't had any problem with identifying them from the icon design. Yeah, you got to change. It's like buying a new car. You don't want it necessarily to look like the old car in terms of design. It's a new design.
That is absolutely fair. However, if they change the design in such a way that you're like, I'm not sure if that's even my car that I just bought, or is that actually a car?
Is that a car? Steering wheel? Is that a steering wheel?
Part of the fun is figuring that out. That's what makes it feel new.
What makes it feel new is breathing in the toxic vinyl vapors.
Yeah.
What I do is I have an app came up. I did click on something and one of the studio apps came up, and I'm like, what the heck is that? If I'm wasting 3.5 minutes trying to figure what the heck that is, it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If we only all stayed with Tiger OS, things would be so much simpler. We would be able to read Jeff's book about it.
Grab his book.
And nothing would ever have to change.
Look at this. All right, got your book here, buddy.
That is just absolutely crazy and amazing.
Right at my finger.
Right there within arm's reach.
Arm's reach, buddy.
You can go to that website, and I bet that has Tiger on it.
Yeah, I bet it does.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about that when that was there. That would give us a chance.
Yeah, you could test the stuff in the book.
And I bet you can click on the icon and know exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's right. Dave, Marty, you were both absolutely awesome.
His is still sealed. Mine's not. So it came that way. All right. And then I think Witherbucket made a comment about here we go. He says so many icons are becoming blobby minimalist mush.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably agree with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, cinnamon, that's good.
Yeah.
This reminds me of in the past when people said the same thing about art. It's with different phases of art, people were complaining about. How come it's not more like?
Yeah. I'm the woman who goes through the Art Institute of Chicago and go, what the heck? What the heck?
I know, but it makes you go, what the heck? That's what art should do.
And then
that's what art should do.
Nothing.
That's not what the icons for the apps that I use should do. So, Marty,
why don't we just have names? We'll just have them names so you know what they are.
That would
Through
be
the
useful.
icons, just use names.
At this point, I would be totally up for that.
Okay.
Well, so Marty, comparing it to art, totally get it. And from an aesthetic standpoint, yes. I equate it more towards typography. If it's not legible, it doesn't matter how pretty it is.
That's why I'm saying you guys just need to go back to names. Just no icons, just names.
Okay, where do I find that setting in the Finder?
There's only one solution to this, and that is animate all the icons like battle chess. You hover your mouse over it, it jumps up, tries to eat your mouse, but it does it in a Final Cut Pro way or a compressor way or a Pixelmator way. That would do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take it.
I think we've hijacked this long enough.
No, have we really?
I think we probably should move on. All right. Let's talk about, again, I want to do some leaks because Joe brought this up earlier today in our chat before the show, and I think it's be fun to talk about what we can kind of expect. We'll be probably doing that when WWDC gets even closer here. But there's some leaks about iOS 27 that revealed the new Siri design and the camera app. This was from Bloomberg today that it's really releasing the redesigned Siri interface with iOS 27. The illustrations created by Bloomberg are showing the new Siri interface and the Siri chatbot app as well. But they're based on information viewed by Bloomberg and people knowledge of the company's plans who have asked not to be identified because the software is not yet public. Yes, of course, you can't be releasing your name. Not like the guy who left his iPhone at the bar.
Yeah, that didn't play out well at his next employee evaluation.
No, it did not. So the report largely rehashes some of the stuff Bloomberg had been reporting, with the Germinator repeating stuff here to get clicks. But so to access the notification center in iOS 27, you're going to have to swipe from the top left corner of the iPhone. You're going to have a search and ask for Siri. So it also has illustrations as far as how that interface works. There's also going to be a chatbot app that's going to be a standalone for the Siri, and largely resembles similar offerings that ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude offer. So, camera app is now going to be customizable, which that'll be interesting to see where that goes. So, what did you think, Jill? Since you brought this up, what did you find interesting?
Well, what I found interesting was it reminded me of this last thing is at some point we're not going to have icons. Our phones are going to be AI, and we're going to say, "Oh, I'm going to edit a file right now," and it'll say, "Okay, great, I'm bringing up your file editing software now," and we won't have to know the names of anything. But I like the idea of the integration, of course, with AI. That part has me the most excited, and I'm this time of year I just start. 26 what? I don't even care anymore. Now I'm on to 27 and all about that. And the AI system, I'm still interested how Google is going to protect our security, but I'm sure Apple probably took care of that. They're talking about it locally running and maybe nothing going to the cloud. And so that could be the issue. The dynamic island part I thought was interesting, and I can't wait to see that in action because how much of the screen is that going to take up? So, but it looked good to me. That's why I was excited about it. So,
I wonder how well it'll work with CarPlay because there isn't a dynamic island in CarPlay.
Yeah,
that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any thoughts on this?
Yet.
This article makes me a little more worried than I was before I read the article. There is just, part of it is the system sounds a little complicated. Now I have to go to my dynamic island. I have to make a choice of what I want to do. I've also been in my car using CarPlay and trying to talk to the S lady and having miserable results, absolutely miserable results. And so that in combination with this, they're going to have to run a marathon between now and 10 days in order for it to be cleaned up to the point where this looks like it's even feasible. My fear is it'll be another AI flop like we had a couple of years ago.
It could be, and that's what scares me too, because Apple is just. I talked about this on Context Machine. That's right. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for coming on
last week too. And Jeff's been really generous to me of being on his great shows. But we talked about this as far as AI and it's becoming scary. Really, honestly, it was probably a way to see it, because Apple has dropped the ball. I mean, they got all the competitors are way ahead of them. You got Perplexity, you got Anthropic, you have OpenAI, you have Gemini, you have all of them have just gone way ahead of what Apple should have been doing 2 years ago. When Craig Federighi went on the stage 2 years ago in 2024 talking about all these great new features with Apple Intelligence, and look what we are. It's got some things, but it's nowhere near what all those other products.
Okay, I've got to push back on that, because they promised, but all the other things that the other AI agents do is not what Apple, I think, ever planned to do. I think they plan to make it contextual, and the other elements are not contextual necessarily, in any significant way with the privacy with your data. So I think they're selling a completely different package. They blew it in 2024, 2023, 2 years ago. And because people kept saying they're so far behind these other agents. Well, the other agents are doing something completely different with a lack of constraint. And I don't think the product that will come out, when it does come out, if it's the best version of the product comes out, it's not going to look anything like ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or anything like that. It's not intended to look that way. I think Apple will use that, will offer that. That's how we're using it on our phone now. I mean, I don't know somebody who doesn't have that app. Maybe I'm sure there are people that don't have that app, but they're certainly not using the S Lady for the kinds of things that they want to do with AI. So,
but it's not. Yeah,
I'm afraid for Apple, they'll never live up to those other products because they're not intending to.
But they're not doing anything. The S Lady's not good for anything.
Well, that's not true. I mean, it will do some things. It just doesn't do them very well. One thing that will make any kind of updated Siri better than most of the other AI clients on there is that S Lady will have links into the greater Apple ecosphere. So if you want to play a song, you can do that through S Lady and then have a nice discussion over, who's the better guitarist, Greg Allman or Jimmy Page, or something along those lines. If you say, where is the next Wendy's as I'm traveling down I-70 through Ohio, it will know where you are, what direction you're going in, and hopefully what exit that Wendy's is going to be at, and things along those lines. It'll have hooks into the rest of, especially on iOS, it'll have hooks into the rest of the iOS sphere that the other AIs don't have, mostly because Apple doesn't let them. And I understand why. So if those things happen, that will make it better than all of the other AIs, especially if you're traveling. You can have a full conversation. And I did this last night on my way to Bolden. Bolden. with Chat GPT. And I said, I even asked it, I said, well, what kind of name can I give you? Because it doesn't have a name, but you can tell it what name it is that you want to give it, and it will remember that name. I told it Dorothy, and it said, sure, you can call me Dorothy, and I'll remember that the next time that we chat, which is kind of cool. S-Lady, on the other hand, will have hooks into contacts and hooks into Apple Maps and hooks into music and hooks into podcasts and all of the various hooks that are built into things like CarPlay in iOS, where the other ones won't.
And the answer to your question is Adrian Belew is the better of the two guitarists.
Well, I don't know about that.
But you're right. I just drove to Minnesota and was tooling all over southern Minnesota the last 2 weeks. And every town I went into, I was like, hey, ChatGPT, why is this town famous? Oh, it has St. Olaf's College and it's all professors in this town. And it was just telling me about the town and the industry. There's a big silver building here. What is that? Oh, that's I'm like, this is so cool. I'm just having the time of my life.
Right. Just don't ask it to give you directions there.
Right.
Yep. So let's go ahead and move on from this. Let's go to, did you guys know here that Apple did release on iPadOS 26.5 as a convenient upgrade when using the Magic Keyboard and other things more? It was earlier this month, of course, when we had 26.5 released, and under the radar improvements involves using a Mac accessory, the Magic Keyboard and Magic Trackpad, or even the Magic Mouse with your iPhone or your iPad. Here's the details. If you ever connect one of those devices to your Apple's first-party Mac accessories with the Magic branding, there's now a convenient improvement for iOS and iPadOS. Both devices already support connecting a Magic Keyboard and all those devices through USB-C. Well, of course, if you have one of those devices, because many of us have had the Lightning one, and I don't think I'm going to spend extra money just to get a USB-C keyboard or mouse when I have a perfectly working keyboard here. But yeah, if you have them, and if you plug it in, now what it does automatically connect to Bluetooth when you plug it in. So it senses it, and you're not having to connect it to Bluetooth. Of course, you could do it anyway on one of the older devices. But this is kind of cool that you actually can connect it with the USB-C plug. And if you want to use it with an iPhone, I don't know how much you'd want to really be typing with a keyboard or using a Magic keyboard on an iPhone. But okay, what do you think, Jeff?
Okay, first, I think this is great. Second, it should have been this way already.
Yeah, exactly.
But Apple doing this, it tells me that they are still continuing down the path of we're making the iPad function more like it's like a standalone computer, and I'm okay with that. I think that they've had a really hard time over the years figuring out how people really want to use this device, and then balancing that with wanting to keep a clear distinction between what an iPad is and what a Mac is.
Yeah.
And that's why we've always felt very hobbled using an iPad for things that we otherwise would use a Mac for. But Apple, they're slowly figuring it out. And what we're seeing here, where you can have the persistent connection after disconnecting the cable, that's another step in the right direction.
Yep. Anybody else have any comments on this?
I realize since I got my MacBook Neo, I haven't turned on my iPad.
Well, I know I've reported this for you because you've been pretty non-wanting to use an iPad anymore.
Yeah, well, I just haven't used it in the last 2 months.
Yeah, no, it's understandable. All right. A couple tips here I wanted to talk about real quick here, and a couple of news stories before we wrap up. Using your CarPlay, you want to customize it. It's always wanting to be able to enhance your CarPlay experience, but by setting it to your preferences and style. couple things you can do here. I'm not going to, there's a long list here, but I'm not going to go through all of them. Invoking Siri, you can do the "Hey S Lady" or just say "S Lady," and then the dedicated voice assistant will voice assistant button. If you press it, will open the infotainment system if it has one. If not, all you gotta do is say it. And in my car, I'm able just to say it, and it does do that. You actually, the other thing is I didn't realize this too. You can actually turn on and off the smart display zoom for CarPlay on your iPhone, and then the smart album art in there as well. So it goes into CarPlay settings and then display, and then you can enable those two things. That one I didn't know too much about. If you want to set driving focus to activate automatically with CarPlay, you could do that. That cuts down on call, text, and other app distractions, so you can just pay attention to the road like you should be. So that's under CarPlay settings, driving focus, and activating with CarPlay. Then you can decide which apps to show on the car screen. This is my favorite. There's so many apps that, I don't know about you guys, but there's so many apps out there that I don't use. And why do I need to have it on my CarPlay? And plus, I hate it when, the Messages app is buried on 4 pages out when I want to get to it right away if I want to use it. So you actually can take apps off and put them back and just scroll through the list. More and more apps are becoming compatible, like notably ChatGPT has been one on lately. I don't know if anybody's had fun conversations with ChatGPT when you would use the voice assistant. It's kind of funny. So you've got that option as well as all the iOS apps that are installed on your iPhone will support CarPlay will appear in that list. So you won't find all apps, but as long as it's compatible, it will appear on that list. So you also can put widgets. It does have widgets available now that came from iOS 26, and you're able to add that too. You go to there as you just go into your CarPlay, select your car and the widgets, and then you can add them, remove them, or rearrange them. And then you also can change app icons for CarPlay if you want to. You can go into the home screen. You can choose the default. You can do dark. You can do clear app icons, and then go into there as well. So and I can go on and on. There's so many different tips here. But anybody used some of these customizations and tips that I've mentioned on your CarPlay?
Yeah, I got rid of a couple of apps and reordered them quite a bit because I mostly use things along the lines of Apple Maps or Waze. So that's always on the front page, along with podcasts and music and a couple of other things, but I made sure that the apps that I use most often are on the first page.
Yeah, I did that too. And and yes, and then turning off all the apps that I don't want showing up.
Exactly.
Did that, and it just kills me though. There's one app that I really, really have no intention of ever launching that I can't make go away from CarPlay, and it's Honda's app.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And
I do Uconnect on my Dodge. So
yeah, so that one is like as far away from everything else as it can be, and it's on my Urapente screen. The one where you send stuff where it never comes back.
Yeah.
I was kind of proud. I did all of these except for 2, which the one I didn't do was sound recognition. I have to check that one out. But the other one was I didn't get the screenshot. I'm like, people have screenshot problems with CarPlay, but I don't know. Anyway,
I'll tell you.
Yeah, there are people who want to take screenshots. I mean,
I just had no idea.
That like to do the write up instructions and such. You want to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But
there's one thing that I haven't figured out how to do, and I don't know if it's related to widgets or not, because on my CarPlay screen, widgets are basically useless because it'll only show one at a time, and I'm not going to sit there and flip back and forth through a bunch of widgets. It's worthless.
Yeah, sure.
But there's this, and it's dangerous. There's the screen where every now and then CarPlay will just decide, oh, this is a screen you're going to see now, and I have to swipe around to get away from it. It's the one where it shows a map, and then it has the zoom in and zoom out buttons, and then the now playing and your calendar. Okay, I literally never need to see my calendar in CarPlay. That is absolutely not the place for me to be checking my calendar. So if I could take that calendar and switch it to weather, so I'm seeing current weather.
Yeah.
That would be super useful. I can't find any way to change that one screen. It's like, this is what Apple gave me, and I apparently don't need to worry my pretty little head about seeing what I want. They know best.
Pat, pat.
Yeah. They're little Jeffy. You just take what we gave you, and you'll be happy. Okay.
Remember trying to do the circle and pat, right?
Yes.
You must have all grown up in demanding households because you all want it your way.
5'1" mother from Norway who was literally 5 feet 1 inches of Norwegian hell.
I grew up with no demands made of me ever. Now I demand my way. I'm just kidding.
All right. So one. Oh, you seem to mention that a lot too, but well, anyway. So one other tip I wanted to mention is how do you activate the 120 hertz refresh rate on the iPhone? So the iPhone introduced the refresh rates starting with the iPhone 13, all the models up to the current models. It is available, but sometimes the refresh rate might not be seen on your device. There's a simple tip here to being able to enable that 120 hertz Pro Motion refresh rate on your device. It could be just limiting to the 60 hertz, and it does make a difference. It really does. So the way you do it is you actually you have to go into accessibility. So it's under settings and go into accessibility, and you tap motion, and then you can turn off the toggle for limit refresh rate. That's what causes it not to be at the 120 hertz. So you make sure that's turned off, and then you'll have that set up for you. And then low power mode also affects it too. So if you have low power mode set on, you're going into settings, battery, and power mode. Turn that off, and then now your refresh rate will be activated. When you scroll through apps and websites, you play supported games, launch and closing apps with the other parts of the UI, and then watching high frame rate content. So that's a good tip. I don't know if anybody has used that before and known that you can do that, but I think this was a good tip to turn that on. And I see people looking at their iPhones now and turning that off, I should say.
Yeah, I had no idea, but there you go.
I didn't either. I thought this was a really good tip, and we'll definitely have this in the show notes to check that out. So, well, no one here knew that, huh?
I apparently had already done it.
Well, you must have turned it off already.
Yeah. It was a good reminder.
Good deal. Yeah, this was a very good reminder. So, so let's go on in just a couple stories here this week. Apple did add some more driver's licenses from states in the United States. In select U.S. states, residents can add their driver's license to this or state ID to the Apple Wallet app for the iPhone and Apple Watch, and the displays for proof of identity or for agent at select airports, businesses, and select apps. Well, I guess we'll go through the list. We have Arizona, we have Maryland, the fine state of Colorado, where Jeff is, Georgia, the fine state of Ohio, where Marty is, and then you have California, Iowa, New Mexico, Montana, North Dakota, West Virginia, Illinois, here where I live, and Arkansas. Well, they don't have it in Wisconsin. Sorry.
Yeah, and, you really needed to sing that like Yakko. Going from state to state.
They don't. They don't have it. So anyway, it's all right. I mean, I've used it at the airport a couple of times. It's worked fine. But there's still a lot of places that aren't accepting it. You still have to keep your physical ID on with you, which I would do anyway, because you can't trust.
Yeah, it
at least me anyway.
West Virginia has it, and Virginia does not. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That is true.
So what I found here in Colorado is that having a digital ID is super handy when I travel. Because I only have to tap my phone at the security at the airport and I'm done. Outside of that, it's basically worthless because each jurisdiction has to adopt support for digital ID. And in Colorado, I think there's 5 jurisdictions that support it. So you still have to have your physical ID all the time. And then places that are supposed to support digital ID as valid identification, like going into a liquor store, the likelihood that the staff will understand that that's a valid ID in the state of Colorado is low.
Yeah.
How many liquor stores have you tried this in, Jeff?
But you're right.
Oh gosh.
I told you I was up north in Minnesota, and I Apple paid, and the lady goes, "Honey, you have to pay." And I said, "I just paid." And she goes, "No, with your wallet, you have to pay." And I'm like, I just paid. Look at your screen. And she's like, "No, dear, you have to pay with money." And I'm like, "I did." Money.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. If nobody understands it, then it's no good.
Yeah.
I mean, the terminal's sitting right there, and it goes beep,
and then it shows on their screen that it's paid.
Money.
So you had an argument. Did they make you? Did she make you pay cash?
No, I just said look down. Look down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she said, "Oh,
your
okay."
machine just printed out a receipt saying I paid."
Yeah. And then she just said, "Oh, sorry, I must have missed it." And I'm like, "No, you don't really understand what it, and it'll take time to adopt."
Yeah. Just look at them and say, bless your heart.
Yeah.
Bless
I don't live in the South.
All right. Final story this week is Apple just put this in the newsroom yesterday as we record. After the Whistle with Brendan Hunt and Rebecca Lowe has returned, available on Apple News and the Apple Podcasts, the hit podcast will feature commentary on the upcoming World Cup from the fan favorite duo. It was announced that they will return on June 7th for a third season, and this will feature the iconic duo's passion for hilarious coverage of the upcoming World Cup. Of course, you know Brendan Hunt from Ted Lasso, which will be coming out in a couple months, and then Rebecca Lowe was on NBC Sports, the Premier League coverage for soccer, and the FIFA World Cup 2020. So they'll be covering it as well. So that's kind of fun. I like to see that Apple is actually doing podcasts and they're producing it with Apple News as a place to watch it as well. And of course, sponsored by Verizon.
Right. Remember, whatever games you go to, tell everybody you're there to watch soccer.
Yeah, not football. Well, if you're in the UK, it's football.
So
if you're anywhere other than the United States, it's football.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because we don't do metric. Okay, people.
That's right.
So the quote from Eddie Q says this is back for a third season.
Yeah.
This moment now is literally the first time I've ever heard of this show.
No, I figured you.
Yeah.
But they do wear costumes, so you got to at least know that.
Yeah, well, of course, they all wear costumes, so you can tell them apart out on the grass.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, first time I've heard of this.
It's interesting because this comes on the heels of all the controversy with the World Cup and the cost of the tickets to get in it, to see it, the politics, the issues in terms of people coming from other countries to the U.S. I'm interested in listening to this podcast just to see if any of that leaks through.
Yeah, this is true. So, all right. So before we wrap up, I make sure I want to talk about MacStock. MacStock Conference and Expo is coming soon. It's 41 days, guys. Oh my gosh! Everybody here on the panel is going to be at MacStock. I can't wait to see all of you. Jeff speaking. I'm speaking. Jill is speaking, and
Marty's speaking too.
Marty's speaking. How can I forget Marty? My gosh. So there's going to be 3 days of full talks, and Marty's going to have a special super session, and David Pogue's going to be there having his book signing for Apple, The First 50 Years. And you get to hang out with friends. There are all kinds of great networking. There's going to be 2 bundles to do this. The weekend pass for just MacStock is 3 days. It's July 10th, 11th, and 12th. And that includes the full 3 days of the sessions, all the main stage and workshops. And the digital pass will come afterwards, so you can go back and watch all the great stuff. You've got a MacStock t-shirt. I've got every single MacStock t-shirt because I've been there all of the last 9 years, going on the 10th year here, so it's exciting. As well as the Creator Campus is coming. This is brand new this year. I can't wait to attend this. This is on the day before, on July 9th. This is going to be with Ecamm. And if you didn't notice, we're using Ecamm now to talk about, to do the show. It's an awesome program that allows you to be able to creating amazing content. And as you see, I'm showing on our website. I'm able to toggle between all the co-hosts here. It's a lot of fun, and we're going to have a full day of workshops, and can't wait to do this. So this is added bonus. If you're into this, you can jump in and do this for that first day on the July 9th. But better yet, just go and check it out. This is what on the video you see here. This is what a creator camp looks like. And there's Doc Rock and Katie Fowkes, and she's both going to be there. And there's going to be amazing folks that are going to be there. And here's all the speakers. We got all these great speakers here. There's Dave Hamilton. Chris Cook is going to be speaking. Katie and Doc are both speaking. Chuck Joyner, we miss you, Chuck. He's going to be there. Mike's going to speak as well. Mike Potter, Mike Rose, he's speaking, and Allison Sharon, of course, and Brett Terpstra. So we got a lot of great lineups of folks that are going to be here this week. So come see us. So go to mac.conference.com. You'll get to this site. And if you go ahead and register and you decide you want to join us, use In Touch in the offer code, and you will save $50 to join us. And we would love to see you. I know everybody here wants to see you, so come join us.
As another bonus, I'm not going to be allowed to speak.
Okay.
You know, the value of the ticket just went up, right?
It did.
Wait, 40 more people just signed up.
Guys, shut up.
Yeah.
Don't talk.
Three more people just signed up. Yeah. So come join us, mac.conference.com. We'd love to see you. So with that, before we wrap up, let's make sure we find out where everybody could be found this week. And let me start the reverse order here. Jeff Gamet, thanks again for being here. Thanks again for Retro Rewatch and Context Machine. Go see those shows this week. And where can people find you?
Well, thank you for having me here. And we've done a lot of shows together this week.
Yeah, we did 3 this week already.
Yeah.
Cool. 4.
That's right. Yep. So, okay. How about first on my blogs, freshbrewtales.com and jeffgamet.com. Then on social media, jgamet, pretty much everywhere. I'm most active on Mastodon, Pixelfin, and Blue Sky. And then for shows, Tuesdays on Chuck Joyner's Mac Voices Live, here for Dave's In Touch with iOS on Thursdays, on the British Tech Network, The Big Show, and The Mac Show. And Brian Chaffin and I do The Context Machine, and Patrice Brendamore and I do Retro Rewatch. And yes, we do have a special episode coming up that Dave is going to be joining us on too.
That's awesome. Can't wait. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Eric Bolden, thank you for being here. You got those great pictures of the flowers behind you. Where can people find you?
I can be found outside sweating mosquitoes, taking pictures of Iris, or posting them on Mastodon at eabolden@mas.to. Otherwise, Sundays on the Neo Notebook, and Mondays on Vision Profiles, Tuesdays on Mac Voices Live, and of course Thursdays here on In Touch with iOS.
Excellent. Thanks for being here. Guys, Serle, how you doing?
Guys.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, you can find me
you?
over on the G-Men show. Hopefully Gaz will be coming back very, very soon. Though I've had some terrific guest hosts to do the show. Yes. Dave was on just last week. I know both Marty and Jeff have been on. Jill so far has avoided me, and you know I'm not saying I don't understand. I'm not. Also, if you'd like to get a hold of us, we have our telephone number, which is 703-828-46. And as well as you can find us on the socials over there on Twaxter as VertShark, and over on Skies of Blue as shocker, VertShark. And the YouTube channel that has 700 plus videos on it. And the what is the name of that? Oh, it's VertShark over there on the view. Yeah, I like to keep things consistent.
All right. Thanks, guy.
You're welcome.
Jill McKinley, thank you for being here. Always a pleasure. where can people find you?
Well, thank you. First of all, your show is G-Men, so I didn't know if I was allowed to be on the show. And I was also on vacation for the last month, so but now I'm back.
Come on anytime, Jill.
Okay, just kidding. I'm just kidding you. You can find me at jillfromthenorthwoods.com. That has all my podcast YouTube channels. There's 5 shows, and they're all both on YouTube and on podcast. And I'm doing Small Steps with AI, which is my tech podcast, talking about how to just get into AI if you don't even know where to begin, or things that you can do with it. That's what this week I talked about, how it helped me feel more settled about my retirement. So I talk about all sorts of topics in AI.
Yep, and that's Jill with a G, by the way.
Jill. Yes. Oh boy. And Marty Jencius, thank you for being here. Where can people find you?
Thanks for having me. Many of the same places Dave and Eric hang out. I hang out too. Sunday nights with the Neo Notebook, Monday with Vision Profiles, Tuesday with Chuck on Mac Voices, Thursdays here with In Touch with iOS. You want to find out what I'm doing? Just check out thepodtalk.net. That's the website that has the link. And if you want to get in touch with me, I want you to stand up right now. I want you to walk over to your window. I want you to open your window and scream as loud as you can. I'm mad as hell and I can't take it anymore. You'll find me there.
Thank you.
Or just look at me on the socials at Jencius, Jencius, and you'll find me there.
I thought you were going to say you were downstairs. If I looked up my window, you'd be down there.
He's holding up his boom box above his head.
Here right now, too.
Somebody send help.
Terribly wrong. All right.
It's going horribly wrong.
And that's a wrap for this week. Thanks for being here. Please send your comments, questions, suggestions to our email address, which is feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky, Mastodon, In Touch with iOS. Support the show. Buy me a coffee at intouchwithios.com/coffee. We would really appreciate it. You can support the show and become a Patreon by supporter by going to patreon.com/intouchwithios. We have 2 tiers to be able to support the show. We would really appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you are notified when we're live streaming, which is Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/intouchwithios. Thank you to Ben and Witherbucket and Brian, I think, made an appearance there. We had a bunch of people that were in the chat. Thanks for being here. And you can go there and be able to watch the current and past live streams. And I'm actually posting an edited video. I did my first one last week, and I keep doing it. So you can watch a nice, clean, edited show. And you also can listen to past shows there as well. You can subscribe to the show in your favorite podcatcher, including Pocket Casts, Overcast, Apple Podcasts, and many others. But better yet, go to our website, which is intouchwithios.com. All the links there, way to listen to us, are out there. I am Dave Ginsburg, and you can find me on the following podcasts. We have the Neo Notebook on Sundays. We have Vision Profiles on Mondays. Tuesdays, Mac Voices Live with many of the folks here on this panel. On Thursdays, here in Touch with iOS. And then Fridays on the Mac Show on the British Tech Network. And yes, I really appreciate everybody being here. You also can find me on Blue Sky Mastodon at DaveG65. So with that, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We had an absolute blast giving the show to you. And then we'll be back next week. Until then, we'll talk again soon.